Basketball is a sport of duos, from Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, to LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Duos have defined the National Basketball Association. While they are few and far between, occasionally one family will send a pair of their own to the league. Here is the 5 best brothers in NBA history. On the 4th of July in 1965, twin boys were born in Augusta, Georgia. Horace and Harvey Grant would both go on to have productive NBA careers. Horace had a recent revival following his role in The Last Dance, but Grant was far more than just a heel to Michael Jordan's Bulls. Grant was a pivotal piece for Chicago during their first three-peat run. When Jordan took his one-season hiatus to pursue a professional baseball career, Grant made the All-Star team and averaged 15 points and 11 rebounds per game. Following the season, Grant joined the Orlando Magic, where he remained a pivotal piece on a championship contender. Harvey didn't last 17 NBA seasons like his brother, but still had a career that spanned over a decade. Interestingly, while both players entered the league as power forwards, they played the position in very different ways. Horace was a bulky bruiser who contributed most on defense and by attacking the glass. Harvey, on the other hand, would eventually move to small forward and primarily contributed as a scorer. Harvey only averaged more than 5 rebounds per game during 3 seasons, but averaged more than 18 points per game in 3 consecutive seasons for the Washington Bullets from 1990 to 1993. Tom and Dick Van Arsdale. While the Grant twins were a part of the NBA's heyday during the Jordan era, Tom and Dick Van Arsdale entered the league eras before. The twins were born in Indianapolis, Indiana on February 22, 1943. Tom and Dick would go on to star together at Indiana before becoming one of the first brothers to play in the NBA. They sure made an impact. The pair combined to play in 24 NBA seasons and racked up nearly 30,000 career points. Both were productive wings that excelled at one thing: scoring. At his peak, Tom averaged over 20 points per game in both the 1969-70 and 1970-71 seasons with the Cincinnati Royals. Not to be outdone by his twin, Dick averaged at least 21 points per game in 3 consecutive seasons from 1968 to 1971 with the Phoenix Suns. Each of them were selected for 3 different All-Star games. While they had been teammates for their entire lives before turning pro, it wasn't until the brothers' final season in 1976 that the duo suited up on the same team. Tom joined Dick during the offseason with the Suns, and they both served as primary scoring options off the bench. Following the season, they both hung up their sneakers and left behind quite an NBA resume. Dominique and Gerald Wilkins. The lone Basketball Hall of Fame inductee on the list, Dominique Wilkins always lived up to his nickname as the human highlight film. While Nick was dominating the Eastern Conference, his younger brother Gerald Wilkins was a productive starting small forward as well. Gerald Wilkins was a mid-second round pick out of Chattanooga and was the Knicks' starting shooting guard by the end of the season. While he never made an All-Star game, Wilkins averaged at least 11 points per game in the first 9 seasons of his career before an injury cut the peak of his career short. Following the injury, Gerald managed to play for 4 more seasons before calling it quits in 1999. Dominique was more than just a solid starter. For a decade, Nick never averaged less than 25 points and 6 rebounds per game in a season. His signature performance came in the 1985-86 season with the Atlanta Hawks. Wilkins led the league in scoring with 30.3 points per game. By the time he'd retired, Wilkins had amassed 7 All-NBA selections and was a surefire Hall of Famer. The Wilkins brothers didn't play on the same team until their final season in 1998-99. Both were shells of their former selves, but did play for the Orlando Magic together. Stefan and Seth Curry. There's no denying that Stephen Curry is the greatest player on this list, but his brother has proven he's no slouch either. In fact, if Seth continues building on his recent trajectory, in a few years, Del Curry's boys might be vying for the top spot on this list. Stephen has obviously done the most damage at the professional level. After barely being recruited by Division I programs, Curry became a March Madness sensation in his time at Davidson before being drafted by the Golden State Warriors. Curry quickly proved he was a good NBA player, but early career ankle injuries left many skeptical of his ability to become a top-tier player. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, Curry became one of the top 5 players in the league, winning back-to-back MVP awards. Curry turned the Warriors into a championship team and has already won 3 titles and appeared in 5 NBA Finals with the organization. While an early season broken hand cost him most of this season, Steph still has his eye on returning to the top of the NBA. Seth, a few years younger than Steph, played college at Duke but went undrafted out of college. That didn't end his career though. After thriving with the Warriors G League team, Seth was able to receive a number of 10-day contracts. Eventually, the Sacramento Kings gave him an extended opportunity and he proved he was a good NBA player. Over the past 3 seasons, Seth has jumped between the Mavericks and the Trailblazers, shooting an incredible 44.2% from behind the three-point arc. Still just 29 years old, Seth has plenty of time to carve out an even larger role for himself. Powell and Marc Gasol. If a family hopes to have a pair of brothers reach the pinnacle of professional basketball, it doesn't hurt if they're each 7 feet tall. Powell was the 3rd overall pick in the 2001 NBA draft by the Atlanta Hawks and was swiftly traded to the Memphis Grizzlies. Powell won Rookie of the Year and quickly became one of the most intriguing young players in the league. The only problem being Memphis was a consistent bottom-feeder organization. It didn't take long for the young Spaniard to become one of the hottest commodities on the trade market. The Los Angeles Lakers swooped in and paired him with Kobe Bryant. Powell would rejuvenate Kobe's career and bring the Lakers back to glory, winning a pair of championships. While Memphis would be derided for trading Powell at first, the Grizzlies received the rights to a young Spanish center. He happened to be Powell's younger brother, Marc Gasol. A few years later, Marc would make the trip across the Atlantic and join the NBA ranks. While he wouldn't win Rookie of the Year like his brother, he was quickly leading the Grizzlies on deep playoff runs. After 11 seasons in Memphis, he was traded to the Toronto Raptors, where he helped Canada's team win their first ever NBA title. Indeed, careers like Marc and Pau Gasol's are few and far between. Throw them in the same family, and you have the best brothers in NBA history.